In this lecture, we talked about empirical economics, or how economists look to the real world to test economic models. We talked about how the biggest challenge is that it's hard to separate causation and correlation. We gave a funny example in the lecture. People in Russia during a cholera outbreak thought it was caused by doctors. Why? Because when cholera popped up, so did the doctors. It may seem silly to us now, but such mistakes are incredibly common. For example, have you heard that you shouldn't go outside in the cold with wet hair? Or that you can catch cold by being outdoors when it's freezing? Such views used to be standard advice, even from doctors. But the common cold, in spite of its name, has nothing to do with cold temperatures. A virus causes people to get a cold, not cold weather. The issue is correlation versus causation. People are more likely to get colds during wintertime, not because it's cold, but because we're more likely to be indoors with other people, which allows germs to spread faster. Staying outside in the rain or sitting by a drafty window doesn't really increase your chance of getting a cold. Bad weather doesn't cause illness, it's correlated with illness. The real culprit isn't the bad weather, but a third factor, spreading of germs when folks are indoors. Even in more modern medicine, the correlation versus causation issue comes up. Researchers who studied child development found that kids who were breastfed after age 1 were not as healthy. Their weight was low, and sometimes they were malnourished. As a result, for a long time, those researchers urged mothers to stop breastfeeding kids when they turned 1. Here's the problem. A later study, looking at toddlers in Peru, found that when a baby was underweight or unhealthy, the mothers would lavish more attention on them by feeding them more. How could they do this? With breast milk. So the sicker the baby, the longer they got breastfed. Once again, correlation got confused with causation. Sick babies got more breast milk because they were sick. More breast milk didn't cause sick babies, it was the opposite. Let me give you another example. Every now and then, Starbucks decides to sell a new type of coffee drink. I'm going to pick one specialty latte in particular, but I won't tell you which one. Here's a graph that shows Google searches for the name of this drink between May of 2016 and May of 2017. Google searches are a good indicator of how excited people are about the drink, which translates to sales. The graph starts in May of 2016. Searches are almost at 0. Sales don't look so good. They stay bad for most of the year, right up until about November. At that point, Starbucks did something drastic. It scrapped all the cups it normally used for hot drinks and switched to a different cup with a different color, red. Suddenly, interest explodes, right at the time when the cup color changed. Then, at the end of December, Starbucks took away the red cups, and lo and behold, sales fell back to the low old levels. So this data sure makes it look like red cups cause sales of the drink to increase, but not really. I haven't told you the name of the drink yet. It's called an eggnog spice latte, a specialty drink that you can technically get year-round, but that people associate with the holiday season. In addition, Starbucks switches to red cups around the holiday season. Therefore, red cups didn't cause eggnog latte sales. Rather, a third factor, the holiday season, causes both to occur together. For another example, there's no better inspiration than The Simpsons. In one episode, a bear wanders into Springfield, and the citizens panic and demand that the city pay for an expensive bear patrol. Of course, the bear was a one-off fluke and doesn't come back, regardless of the bear patrol. In this clip, Homer makes the classic correlation versus causation mistake.
Not a bear in sight. The bear patrol must be working like a charm.
That's specious reasoning, Dad.
Thank you, honey.
By your logic, I could claim that this rock keeps tigers away.
Oh, how does it work?
It doesn't work.
Uh-huh.
It's just a stupid rock.
Uh-huh.
But I don't see any tigers around here, do you?
Lisa, I want to buy your rock.
It's easy to make fun of Homer here, but the mistake he made is incredibly tempting. The bottom line is it's really easy to see patterns in a complicated world and tell a story to explain them. But in doing so, we often make the same mistake. Just because A and B happen at the same time doesn't mean that A caused B. You need to use the tools discussed in lecture to know for sure.